Bangladesh's GDP growth to remain resilient this year, growing at around 6.5%, but many are now skeptical, and experts say the economic costs from the unrest could worsen the country's foreign reserves and inflation and weigh down growth going forward.
A U.S. federal judge has ruled that tech giant Google has maintained an illegal monopoly in online search. The decision could change how big tech companies do business. Ira Spitzer with more from San Francisco.
Well, this is certainly a big victory for the U.S. Department of Justice, who, along with dozens of U.S. states back in 2020, undertook this lawsuit against the search engine giant, which controls about 90% of the global online search market. And what the DOJ alleged here is that Google used its dominant market position to pay billions of dollars to hardware makers such as smartphone makers like Apple, as well as internet browsers, and paying these companies to make Google the default search engine. And according to the judge here, as well as the plaintiffs, that was designed and undertaken in order to preserve what they are calling a monopoly. Now, Google, of course, argued its case against that version, but ultimately in this 266-page ruling, Judge Amit Mehta, who was overseeing this case, agreed with the Justice Department's interpretation of the facts on the ground here. So this now will begin another long process. For one, Google has said that it plans to appeal the ruling. We also don't know what punitive steps may be taken here. We certainly could see Google being forced to change some of those business practices, and we've even seen suggestions of possibly more draconian measures imposed on the search engine giant. But this will no doubt, especially considering the appeals, be a long and drawn-out process.
Business news as it breaks on CNA.Asia.
Hey, we're Harbiato and Andrea. Now catch us tonight at 9 for the best of Asia First from earlier today. Singapore's ethnic integration policy was introduced back in 1989. So why do we still have misconceptions about it?
Sometimes the difficulty in getting this sort of information could give rise to the idea that the school scheme is complex, is hard to understand, and that it sets out to put certain sellers or buyers at a disadvantage.
And it's a global first. Australia is rolling out a peanut allergy treatment for babies who will benefit.
Peanut allergies is a lot of them tend to area, so two-thirds of children who have a peanut allergy are still emerging by age 10.
Catch the best of Asia First from 9 p.m. only on CNA 938.
And still to come on the program, I'll be telling you more about what is coming up tomorrow on Work It. But in the meantime, here are the stories that my colleague Melanie Olivero will be following in the next hour. A day after Bangladeshi Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's ouster, the formation of an interim government is gathering pace. Reports say student protesters want Nobel Peace Laureate Muhammad Yunus to be the chief advisor to the caretaker government. The country's army chief, who has taken temporary control, is set to meet the protest leaders today. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has vowed swift criminal sanctions for violent protesters as he sought to quell days of anti-immigration rioting. He's convened an emergency meeting with ministers and police chiefs as he blamed misinformation for the riots. Riots erupted across towns and cities last week after 3 girls were killed in a knife attack in northwest England. Reports say US Vice President Kamala Harris has narrowed down the list of the potential running mate to 2 candidates, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro. Ms. Harris has officially secured the Democratic presidential nomination after the Democratic National Committee completed a virtual roll call. And the foreign and defense ministers of the US and Australia are meeting today as part of their annual ministerial dialogue. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin are hosting their Australian counterparts Penny Wong and Richard Marles. Mr. Blinken says both sides are engaged in a partnership of resource exploration. Headlines anytime on CNA 98 and CNA.Asia. A vehicle has broken down on the KJE towards the PIE before PIE Changi exit. Avoid lane 4. Well, that's it for Work It. Join me tomorrow as I have a 1-hour special with a lawyer discussing what you can do if you're embroiled in an employment dispute. And on Eat Drink Singapore, we'll be exploring a restaurant that features seafood buckets with Thai influences. Find out more from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. tomorrow, but in the meantime, Melanie Olivero is standing by with Life and Style. This is Eat Drink Singapore. I'm Julie Lin, and with me is Work It's producer Vaisali Prabhakaran. And we're just putting you in the mood for the long weekend that's coming up. Just imagine you're relaxing at a rooftop infinity pool. You've got some refreshing drinks and snacks, and a gorgeous view of the Singapore skyline and Marina Bay in front of you.
That sounds amazing. Well, that's what awaits you at El Chido. It's the rooftop bar at Pullman, Singapore, Hill Street, a premium 5-star hotel that's within walking distance of the Singapore Art Museum and St. Andrew's Cathedral. And also, it sounds like the perfect spot to watch the National Day Parade from if you haven't got any tickets. But food-wise, what can you expect? Well, joining us to tell us more is Mazen Abilmona, General Manager at Pullman, Singapore, Hill Street. Welcome to the show, Mazen.
Thank you.
First, tell us what El Chido means.
So El Chido simply means cool. Chido means cool, and we decided to call the place. It's the cool place to be. It is definitely the newest rooftop bar overlooking the bay. Great views. You can actually see Esplanade, the PS, and it's a very good, relaxing place to be honest.
Right. And tell us, what kind of dishes do you normally serve up?
So look, it's a rooftop bar. We decided the dishes to be typical bar food. So you have your traditional elotes, you have impossible nachos, you have regular nachos to cater for vegetarian and regular nacho lovers. We have the tostadas, we have churros. It depends on the day as well. In the events, we do feature live barbecue up there. Different buffets. It could be a group set menu. So we are pretty flexible and adaptable to every certain occasion or a private event that usually comes through us.
And we understand that you have some specially curated dishes that are available now till National Day. So tell us what's on the menu.
Yeah, so look, it is National Day. It's a time of celebration in Singapore.